Yeah. I think it's important to have realistic expectations. It's very important to have your hair won't look like somebody else's hair. You know, your curl pattern or your coil pattern may not look like somebody else's. I think it's really important to once again find people that you can relate to when it comes to your hair and um really go from there. And you
Yeah.
know, and then also as you branch out, you'll learn to have a true appreciation for your hair and also be able to appreciate other people's hair, even if it looks totally different from yours. So I think
Exactly.
that that's the next step after fully appreciating your hair. So what advice do you have for naturals that are still trying to figure out their routine?
Okay. Um, because okay, so for me, sometimes routine and regimen is different, but we're going to just act like they're the same. They're pretty. I think people understand routine more. So, what I would say to somebody who's trying to figure it out is, like I kind of said before, start with a goal. So, what is the goal for your hair? Is your hair damaged and you're trying to reach healthy hair? You're trying to get rid of the heat damage. You're trying to get rid of the, you know, color damage. You just have a whole lot of split ends and it's just whatever. Is your hair, you're trying to maintain hair? Is your hair a length goal or whatever? I think you need to know what it is that you are looking for in your hair. What's the goal for your hair? So you need to figure that out. And then once you have figured that out, then you vamp your routine around that. So that's similar to what you were just saying, I think, um, when you're talking about genres and then finding someone in your genre or whatever. That's a little bit the same. Find out what your hair goal is and then vamp your routine around that. Because if your hair goal is to get healthy hair because your hair is damaged, then your routine is going to be different than my routine or someone else's routine. So, so that's important, I think, when someone's trying to figure out what the routine should be. Okay, find out. I mean, what are you looking for in your hair? Um, and then I would say to not jump on every bandwagon that's out there. That's very important, and that's hard to do when you're trying to find a routine. Okay, because your routine has to fit into your schedule. So even though I wash my hair every 3 days, if that doesn't fit into your schedule and you need to do yours once a week, then that's your routine. You can do yours once a week. It's okay. But whatever you do, you have to do that consistently. And you need to know what it is you're doing based on what your hair needs. Does it need health? So, do you need trims? Do you need deep conditionings? Do you need protein treatments? Some people are going to need those in their routine
Mm-hmm.
that other people will not need. I don't need a whole lot of protein
Ooh,
treatments
say that.
because my hair
Yeah.
is not, you know what I'm saying? So, so yeah, that's important. Um, my other thing I would say to people is don't be afraid of your hair. A lot of us are so afraid to make a mistake. A lot of us are so afraid to trust our instincts. We will go to a hairstylist who has never seen our hair before, never done it before, and trust them to do what's best for our natural hair before we will trust ourselves who have been doing it, who have been touching it, who have been looking at it. No, again, have confidence in your skill set and your knowledge about your own hair. And if you make a mistake, it's okay. Fix it the next time. Fix it the next time. It's okay. If something happened, I mean, now don't be crazy. Don't go out there and bleach your hair to high heaven and then it all falls out. We're not going to do that. But I'm just saying, as far as a routine, what should I do? Should I shampoo? Should I deep condition? Should I use a leave-in? Should I get trims? Should I do protein treatment? Should I, whatever it is that you need for your hair, set up your regimen and then make your routine. When are you going to do that? Are you going to do that every 3 to 5 days? Are you going to do that every 7 days? How are you going to do it? That I can't tell you what to do. That's something that you guys have to figure out. So I would say that is very important. Um, if you have something that works for your hair, stick with it until it doesn't work anymore. That's what I would say. Stick with it. And if you're trying something new, stick with it for a while. Don't use it one day and then, yeah, I'm going to try something else this day. You have to let it work a few times. Use it a few times, over and over to see if it actually works for your hair. Just like medication. You don't take medication one day and it don't work. No, you have to take it over a course to start seeing the effects of it. Now, if it's a product that you completely know is not right for your hair, if you use the shampoo and it tangled your hair to high heaven, then I
Woo,
wouldn't say use that again. I mean,
yeah.
so there's where common sense comes in again. I wouldn't say that, but I'm saying if you're not getting any adverse effects from what it is that you're using, keep using it and see if that's something that your hair really loves. Like me, I kept using the coconut oil until I figured out my hair really didn't like it. But I didn't know that until I used it, a little while. So that's kind of how you learn. So don't be afraid of your hair. I would say that. Um, and um, um, hmm,
I think you gave some excellent tips.
those some
And
good ones.
yeah, and something that I wanted to add with the trusting yourself is education can help to empower you so you can learn how to trust yourself.
Yes.
Because for me, I used to base my routine around softening my hair, softening, 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 softening. And so because of that, I avoided clarifying shampoos. Because the first time that I tried a clarifying shampoo, my hair was hard, it was tangly, it scared me so bad. But I didn't realize that that deeper cleansing shampoo is necessary every once in a while to give my hair a reset. I didn't realize that until I started to learn from Black Girl Curls. That's not to say that some people haven't said it elsewhere, but I learned it from them where they were like, you need a clarifying shampoo to basically give you a clean slate so you can have a fresh start. Use your clarifying
Mm-hmm.
shampoo maybe every 6 to 8 weeks, or maybe once a quarter for some people to give you that reset. And so just getting that education from them helped me to later on down the line put together my thoughts first. What I experienced is the most important thing above all, especially with me doing fragrance-free hair care. There's no stylist telling me, you know, here, these are the products that you're going to use. Here, this is the routine that you, no. And when I go on YouTube, there are very few, little to no people discussing a fragrance-free routine. It's the Wild Wild West for me, essentially. So
Mm.
for me to build it, I'm pulling from a variety of resources. I'm pulling from things that, even if I don't agree with everything that these people say. So I'm pulling from things that Anthony Dickey has said. I'm pulling from things that Andre Walker has said. I'm pulling from Black Girl Curls. I'm
Mm-hmm.
pulling from all these different resources. And then I'm also combining that with my common sense to give me a better understanding. So now I have an understanding that, yeah, I like to keep my hair on the softer side. If it's feeling extra crispy, something might be wrong.
Right.
Unless it's a gel cast. But if it's feeling
Right.
extra crispy, something might be wrong. I'll keep my hair on the softer side. But in order to get towards the softer side, I need to make sure it's properly cleansed. I need to make sure it's properly conditioned. Does my conditioner have too much protein? Does it have too little protein? Do I need a little bit more protein every once in a while? So
Right.
it's like I combined like basic cosmetology education that I've learned from these different places I've combined that with my personal understanding. So I'm not saying that other people have to go and read all these books, but I think it's important for people to find a resource that speaks to them,
Mhm.
the genre of hair
Yes,
care that speaks to them, and then
yes,
kind of use that to build up their knowledge and
yes,
empower them. So
yes. That makes sense. And just to piggyback off of that too, like you said, there's no stylist you're going to go to that's going to tell you to use this and use this, especially since you already know what your situation is with your scalp and that you have to use fragrance free. That was one of the things too that I would say. Stylists are good, and I do think that everyone should have one. I still want to find one in my area that I just love. I haven't yet. I have used one, and I may go back to her just to see, if my feelings change. Not that I didn't like her before, but they were just a certain little tweaks that I would have liked. Um, but again, because stylists, not all, but a lot of them are using certain products and they want to market those products to you. If you don't already know what your goal is, like you said, what you want for your hair, if that stylist doesn't align with that, then that may not be the stylist for you. And that's the thing with me. A lot of the stylists now are on the Uncle Funky's daughter and the I Create Hold on top of that. And they want to use the Malibu shampoos and they want to use the Olaplexes and they want to use all this stuff because every stylist is using it. Stylists get on bandwagons too, okay? Not just YouTubers. Stylists get on bandwagons too. And I know for a fact that I don't care for Uncle Funky's daughter. I don't care for I Create Hold. I don't want that. So if that's something, the only thing that you use and you're not open to using products, me bringing my products or products that I like, then you may not be the stylist for me. I want a stylist that aligns with what my values are for my hair and what I want for my hair. I don't want you to push on me what you want me to use. I know that if I go to a stylist right now, they can make my hair look really good with Uncle Funky's daughter and I Create Whole. I already know that. You know what I'm saying? I probably can make my hair look good with it. I've used the two before, uh, but that doesn't mean that I like it. I don't like the way it makes my hair feel. I don't like the next day how gray it looks. There are things about it that I don't like, and I'm not going to pay you to do that to my hair for me to come home and wash it the next day myself to get it back to what I like. So that kind of piggyback off of you. You still, yeah, do
yeah, yeah.
read, find a stylist, talk back and forth, and see if they align with you. If they do, by all means, partner up with them and get your trims and get your curly cuts and get your straight cuts or whatever you want to do. If they don't, move on to one that does. That's how I
Yeah.
feel about it.
Now, the reason why I started smiling so big is because I think that so many of our hair experiences are so similar because we both have coarse hair. We have coarse tight curls. When I was using Uncle Funky's daughter, it would make my hair tangle and lock up really badly. And it was just, and this is kind of, I think that we can move into open discussion now, if that's okay with
Yes,
you.
yes, yes.
Um, Uncle Funky's daughter would make my hair just tangle so bad and it was so unpleasant. And so what I would do, and curl artists would say you need warm water and things like that, but no, just actually on my hair, I don't like the application of it. And so I started to use a leave-in conditioner with it at the time when I can use fragrance-free product. I mean, fragranced products at that time. I would use the As I Am leave-in conditioner
Mm-hmm.
underneath that Uncle Funky's. And I create hold. That was a very aggressive application as well. Very tight, very tangly, very unpleasant. I'm thinking it might have something to do with our porosity. And curl artists would say, more warm water, more warm
More
water.
water.
And it's like, no, I don't like it. I feel like I'm breaking and ripping my hair out when I try to use these things. And when I've discussed it on my channel, I've very gently kind of said something about it. I very gently said something about the tight tangling. If you don't like it, put the products down. I've also said, if you feel like a product is hard to apply and you keep using it, you're likely breaking your hair. I've very gently said things about that. Um, but you know, I with the grayness. So what would happen for me with my previous curl artist, the day that she would use the Uncle Funkies and the I Create Hold, I would have these slaying curls. It would be
Hmm.
slaying. And
Hmm.
then the next day, I would lose so much hold. Like maybe only the top part of my hair would still have some hold. And I also did experience some of that grayness too with InnerSense products being applied to my hair. My hair would start to turn like this gray color. We also talked about experiencing that with Kinky Curly.
Oh my
It
goodness.
it kind of turned the
And
hair grayish.
right. And
Um,
people, yeah.
and people will be like, "You're not using it right, not enough water."
Right.
And so this is where I'm like, I think it's because I have coarse, low porosity hair that a lot of people don't have, that I'm talking to on YouTube, not in general, don't
Hmm.
have a similar profile, or the people that are responding, use it this way, use it that way, they don't have a similar profile. Like one person, when I was explaining how some gels tangle up my hair, the person was like, "Oh, well, just comb your hair with warm water before you apply the gel." Comb my hair with just water? Are you crazy? Like, that's not gonna work on my hair. Combing my hair with just water, I will break my hair. That is not enough slip. Are you nuts? So, I was just like, but yeah, I just no, in terms of a lot of the products that stylists are using, I think it's because they genuinely believe in those products for themselves. But it's the thing that I think that some stylists aren't thinking about is you're like, no. The thing that I think that some stylists aren't thinking about is once we get home, we aren't having the same experience that you have at the bowl or whatever. Some of us aren't having the same experience that you have at the bowl and what have you with those products. You know, the product for you may get the best result on the majority of your clients for you to give them a bomb cut. And then also on top of that, you can retail it. And then on top of that, it's easier for you to purchase as a stylist. You can go online. They have a special portal for you to purchase the product. This product is the most convenient for you.
Exactly.
And you are also able to give people stellar results that they're happy with when more people, not everybody, but more people, stellar results when they go home. But sometimes for the consumer, those products suck at
Exactly.
home. They
And
suck.
it's okay. It's okay for them not to work for everybody. Don't shoot us. It's, here, and you made a good point. So I will say that I think there are really good stylists out there that do care about their client's hair and that don't have ill intentions. But there are those few, like you said, that I'm going to use these products because, yeah, I'm going to get a kickback from them. Just like certain doctors are going to prescribe certain medications because they get money back from those particular medications. Same thing with stylists. And I hate to say it, and that's why I said I feel like they jump on bandwagons and stuff too. Not all, but there are some.
Yeah, the thing.
Now,
Oh,
the
good.
other thing I want to say is, um, yeah, these gels that they're pushing, the Uncle Funky's daughter, the I Create Hold, all these ones that you have to add all this water to, and you got to get the certain ratio for it to act right. That's not for me. I don't want to spend all this time trying to get the certain ratio of water and product right when I know that there are tons of gels that I don't have to do that with. I can grab my hand, put it in my hair, and I'm not going to get flakes. It's going to give me the clumpage I want. It's going to give me the hold I want for the amount of days that I want. I don't have to think that much. So, and they are a fraction of the cost, most of them. So am I
Yeah.
going to spend 20, 30, $40 for a bottle of slimy gel that tangles my hair that I have to add more water. Is this enough water? And then I get a great cast afterwards. No, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to me. And that's what stylists need to understand. You guys, they're used to it. They've used it enough. So they got the ratio and they got the bowl where they can see the hair. And I mean, they have an advantage over us trying to do it at home.
Exactly.
Oh, this is another thing I want to mention to people that's I think is very important. If you don't have a shower mirror, get a shower mirror, a mirror for the shower when you do your hair. It makes a world of difference. I used to do my hair when I didn't have a mirror and I did fine. But when I got a shower mirror, it took it up a notch because while you're doing your hair, you can see it. After you have wet your hair and then after you shampoo it and you rinse that shampoo out, you can see, did my hair frizz up? Is my hair the same as it was as this side that I haven't shampooed yet? Or is it more defined? When I apply my deep conditioner or my whatever you're doing to your hair, you're able to pay attention to your strands. Are is the elasticity there? Is it plump? Is it bouncing back? Things like that that you are not always going to pay attention to if you don't have a shower mirror. If you don't have a shower mirror, you're just in there, you're doing the thing and everything. You can try to look at your hair like this, but it is not the same as you looking at one side of your hair versus another, or you looking at the before and then you apply the products and you run it to and you can see the after, and if you can see the definition, you can see what the water is doing, and you can see the hang, and you can see when you apply your products if you do it in the shower or not. It is very important. I think it makes a big difference if you have a shower mirror, and you're going to see your damage more. Are those ends straight and scraggly? Does it seem like you need a trim? You're trying to finger detangle and the ends are just, it makes, get a shower mirror.
Yeah. A
That's,
word.
I think it'll make a big difference for you guys when you're looking at your hair and trying to see and assess it.
Yeah.
Is it plump? Is it dry? Is it frizz? I mean, it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And they're
Now
not expensive. Go on Amazon. I got the little one. It's a shade mirror for men. It comes with a little hook and you hang it on there. I don't even use the hook. I got this little hook on where my shampoos and stuff sit. There's already a hook on my little uh, tray in there, and I just hook it on that and I can move it upstairs, downstairs, or whatever. It don't cost nothing.
yeah. Yeah. Something I wanted to ask. So for me, with my stylist, I remember when I told her, I said, hey, I came in with a set. This is when I could still use products with fragrance in them. I came in and I had As I Am leave-in conditioner, I put the Uncle Funky's, I put the As I Am in the shower. Then I stepped out and I put Uncle Funky's on my hair, damp hair. I spritzed it with warm water. I did damp hair. And then I put Mousse Def foam. That worked when my hair was shorter. That wouldn't work now. But I did that and I had a pretty good set. And she gave me a curly cut, and she was like, she was asking me what I did to my hair, how I did my hair. And when I told her, she said, I don't care if you got to stand on one leg or if that's what you want to do, as long as you bring your hair in looking like this. So she was basically saying she's fine with however I do my hair, as long as I'm bringing it in the way it looks and the health that it has. So my stylist,
Okay.
she's pretty cool. And we're on the same wavelength when it comes to products. If I could use fragrance products, I think a lot of times I'll be using Ouidad. I'll be using a lot of
Okay.
Ouidad stuff. I would not be using Inner Sense. They have a fragrance-free line now. They have a fragrance-free shampoo and conditioner. Shampoo, as soon as I read the description, the ingredients, I was like, this is a deep cleansing shampoo. I'm so tired of people making drying fragrance-free shampoos. And then the conditioner, I was like, okay, let me go ahead and try it. I tried that conditioner. I said, now I know Innocence didn't make this. It was terrible. It did not have much slip.
Mm,
It was terrible on my hair. Maybe on
yes.
somebody else's hair, it's fine. but it was terrible on my hair. It didn't have enough slip.
Yes. Yeah.
It was not giving. It was not giving. So I let them know, and they tried to tell me, oh, because you're not used to using more natural products. And I'm like, if you don't shut up, I'm like, I know about natural, more organic hair
Right.
products.
Right.
Your stuff just doesn't have much slip. It doesn't, you know? So I don't care if it's innocence. It wasn't up to par for me.
Right.
You know, it
I
wasn't up to
I get
par.
it.
So
Yeah,
I
I
just,
get it.
yeah, so yeah, but it's like it's like walking on eggshells. Me saying certain things about certain products, me saying certain things about how I style my hair, it's like walking on eggshells. Cause it's like you're in this position where everybody has different hair routines, and I don't want to tell them something that doesn't work for them and they possibly damage their hair. So that's one thing. And then I think that's the most important thing. Sure, there are stylists that might try to say, don't listen to her. But they're not important. My concern is people that I'm trying to make sure I'm giving them information that makes sense. Because things
Right.
that I do, like I say I use a foam for a base a lot of times, that may really dry somebody's hair out. But I'm washing my hair every 3 to 5 days. They're washing
Right.
their hair every 2 weeks. It's not gonna
Right.
work for you.
Right.
So,
Right.
it's stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that's where, you know, um, take the meat and spit out the bones. A foam and a gel may give you the results you want, but you may not be able to do that if you do your hair every 2 weeks.
Hmm.
So what do you want to do? Do you want to try it and try to change your routine, uh, where you're washing more often? Or do you want to, okay, well, I'll still try it, but maybe I'll put a leave-in under the mousse, you know, or the foam before I put a gel in and see how long I can get. Maybe I can get at least a week out of it and then I'll do, so you have to listen, um, and then tweak things that work within your lifestyle and work for your hair. If your hair is chronically dry, you know, maybe that won't work for you. Maybe you're gonna need someone who needs something with a little bit more, emollients in it. Maybe you might need a light leave-in first or whatever. So um
Yeah, if
I
if
don't
somebody
know. I get it. I always preface, listen, do what works for you. And people hate that. Now people are saying, people think, oh, that's just an easy way of, not really trying to help people. And it's really not. It is, this is what I'm doing. I'm sharing my journey. I'm sharing what I am learning with my hair. I'm reviewing products based on, what I want to get out of it from my hair. And if you can take something from it, great. And then I'll try to answer questions in the comments. So yeah, Rachel, that sounds good, but my hair, blah, 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 or I'm in a colder climate. Should I probably add this to it? Yeah, maybe try to add that to it. So that's where the comment section come in to kind of get clarification, ask a few more questions, but don't just think what I'm doing is what you should automatically be doing. I always say that, hey, this is me. This is what I'm doing with my hair. And again, if our hair is in different places,
yes.
then this stuff is going to work differently. So that
That's
goes back.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that's what I'm saying. People don't. I like what you're saying about people asking questions. That's my thing. I feel like you got to ask questions. Don't make assumptions about why something is working for somebody. You need to ask them, how are you able to do that? How are you able to do that?
Right.
Like if somebody's like, if I say to somebody, I don't use raw oils or butters or leave-in conditioners, or I'm gonna try to find a leave-in conditioner I can use that doesn't irritate me, but I don't use raw oils, butters, leave-in conditioners, or creams in my hair. Ask me how I'm able to do that. Don't just
Which
make
is
a
what I did. Because I was like,
yeah.
when you said that, I was like, so is that why you're washing so soon? And then you explain,
Yeah.
looking for certain ingredients in your product. So,
Yeah,
mhm,
don't just make assumptions about how somebody's able to do something, because what you can end up doing is making an assumption that is disparaging for your hair type, or where you're thinking down on your hair type, where you're like, oh, I can't do that because that's just what you're. No, did you ask me how I'm able to do that? And I think there is some responsibility on my part too as a YouTuber to really lay things out. But right now, I'm not in a position to do that. I'm trying to wait until some people release products and all kinds of things. Like, for example, Ember Naturals just released their stuff. So now I can just now talk about what I've been using for dang near 6 months.
mhm.
So I'm still waiting on some things for me to have a full length transparent video. I've had somebody tell me, are we coming out with a fragrance-free shampoo? Just hold on. So I'm waiting on things before I can speak up and say things. And so, there is some responsibility on my part, but then also it's like ask questions, how somebody is able to
Right,
do that. So
right.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
and just because I think I should share because you did ask me, so I should share. You were like, how are you able to survive with that routine? So you were asking me how am I able to basically care for my hair without using raw oils, butters, leave-in conditioners, creams. For me right now, what I do is I look for shampoos with conditioning ingredients like fatty alcohols. That's something you more so see in a conditioner. So I look for shampoos with conditioning ingredients. So the conditioning starts at the shampoo step. Even if I'm having to use a stronger shampoo, I'm following up with a shampoo with conditioning ingredients. Um, or if I'm not able to get my hands on a moisturizing shampoo, then I alternate. I'll use whatever shampoo is more gentle this week and then use the stronger one the next week. And I'll
Okay.
have that free list of fragrance-free products down below for y'all. Um, I've even to make it, I've even used hunting shampoos
What kind?
because I've used hunting shampoos.
Hunting.
Yeah, or a hunting shampoo. It was
What
called
are you?
it was called phase ones because hunting sometimes they make hunting shampoos and they make them fragrance free. So the
Oh, okay.
animals won't smell you.
I get it. Okay. I was like, hunting shampoos. Okay.
Oh,
Okay, I
oh,
get it.
oh, that's why can't nobody tell me nothing. Because
Okay.
because I say when I went to find fragrance free stuff, I got it out the mud. I was not
Wow.
playing. I was like, I'm gonna figure out how to care for my hair. I
Who
don't
would have
care.
thought?
Yeah, I will use a hunting shampoo because sometimes
Okay.
even though it's not a moisturizing shampoo, they'll still try to make it a little bit more gentle because the hunter is using it more often. So, you find a shampoo with conditioning ingredients, or you find the most gentle deep cleansing shampoo you can find, or you alternate, use one deeper one this week, one not so deep cleansing or good, not the best cleanser the next week, alternate,
Mhm.
do different things, do old school pre-poo method where you detangle your hair with conditioner first and then you shampoo. So it provides a buffer for the shampoo.
Right.
Um, of course, I told you I use like a rich or a nourishing conditioner every wash, even though I'm washing every
Hmm.
3 to 5 days. Um, I would find stuff. There's one, for example, the Kristiness fragrance-free deep treatment mask. That was at like Walgreens, and I had to drive to a bunch of Walgreens to get it, but I would
Yeah.
find it. So I just would figure out different ways to care. Every step needs to be conditioning. Shampoo, I need to have something conditioning in there. Conditioning needs to be rich in conditioning. And then once I got to the styling, of course, the conditioning will be lighter, but I would still try to use products that aren't drying. They might not add as much moisture, but they aren't
Or
drying.
drying. Yes.
So
Okay.
yeah, that's how, and then also washing every 3 to 5 days.
Hmm.
Because even though, like, say today, if I went to day 7, my hair probably wouldn't be extremely dry, but I don't know, doing it every single week, I don't know what they would do to my hair. So,
Right. Right.
so, the frequent washing helps as well. And so, yeah, I just wish more people would ask questions or the little things like how, you noticed that gel made your hair tangle up and you were like, I'm not using. I've decided the same thing. If something is hard to apply, it's going to be tearing up and breaking my hair. So I'm not using hard to apply gels. I'm
Mhm.
also watching my manipulation. Less emollients means I need to really watch my manipulation. Some
Mhm.
of the things that were okay before, I used to manipulate my hair daily with oil and cream. Some of the things that were okay before, they're not okay now.
Okay, now, yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm not going to brush my hair with or comb my hair with just water.
Hmm.
No,
Now,
I'm not going to brush
okay.
or comb my
Now,
hair
if
with hair gel.
yeah,
You know,
um, back to you know, cleansing every 3 to 5 days. A lot of people, oh, I can't do that. I can't do that because again, they're already going a week or 2 weeks, so they already know that they have a lot of tangles and all this. So they already have a hard wash day and they dread their wash day. So I have said this on my channel before, and I don't know how many people took it, but if you wash more often, I know everybody can't, but if you can find a way to wash more often, you won't have as hard a time with the detangling and all that, and your wash day will go quicker. I think if I was not a YouTuber and filming, I could do a wash day pretty quickly because I could apply I got a mirror in my shower. I could wash my hair and everything. The longest part will be me deep conditioning because I deep condition all the time and I do it for like 30 minutes at least. Um, but if I didn't even deep condition and I just washed, conditioned, and styled my hair and styled it in the shower, I could be out of the shower in no time. The longest part will be drying it. So I just want to put that out to people. And I don't dread it. I actually like to get in there and take care of my hair and shampoo it because it's not a dread for me because it's not that hard to do. Yes, I have shed hairs, but with the gel, when I'm rinsing out the gel, some of those shed hairs are just slipping right on out with the gel. And I can just get on down the road. And that's because you do it more often. You have less tangles. You get quicker at it. Yeah. I
yeah.
just want to
Now,
throw that out there for people who are like, I can't do that.
yeah. Now I will say, for me, one of the biggest challenges I was having recently was the detangling. But then I realized, I said, because I I wanted to just be sure to keep my scalp clear and not have any scalp issues. So I was using my dandruff shampoo. I was using it just at my scalp. I wasn't pulling it down through my hair, but I was using my dandruff shampoo every wash. I was like, I need to use this dandruff shampoo every wash, every wash, every
Mm-hmm.
wash, every wash, and follow it up with the shampoo for my hair.
Mm-hmm.
So I cut the dandruff shampoo out and it cut down my detanglement time. Even though I was just using it at my roots, it was still doing a number on my hair because dandruff shampoos are like strong or whatever. So I'm trying to figure out a happy medium with that. But I figured out that for me the challenge was detangling with washing my hair often. But I realized it was my dandruff shampoo. But now I'm like, but I need the dandruff shampoo.
Yeah.
So
I think the difference too may be um, the difference in the gels that we use because you're using more of a botanical gel, right?
yeah.
And so to even though they have hold, in my experience, this is my experience, even the ones that I have used, they have hold, but they define my hair in smaller curls, more
Mm.
individual curls. You may even think that I have shingled my hair because the curls are so individual. That's what I found with botanical gels. Um, so with that being said, your hair have more time to love on each other and get tangled up with that. Okay. For me, I tend to use a little bit heavier gels. Some of them don't have any, harsh things in them, but they're still that consistency is not the
Slimy.
slimier consistency. The slimiest I'll go um normally is like the main choice gels, but they still have some heft to them. She scented their gels, but they still have a little health heft where you can kind of grab them out and so with that, they clump my hair. Those are the lightest, and those will do that sometimes too, make them a little bit more separated. But for the most part, the gels that I use will clump my curls into bigger clumps the way that I like. So it's a lot of hair clumped together, and because of
Mm.
that, it's not individual ones trying to get on each other. So when I go to rinse, I'm rinsing out clumps, and the hair is just coming out. I don't have as much uh, problem detangling my hair, especially on the ends. If I'm gonna have detangling issues, it's gonna be closer to my scalp where the shed hair has come out.
Mm.
But the ends, and I put that gel on those ends, honey, and I coat extra gel on my ends to keep them.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll even twirl it, keep it clumped together so I don't have the issues at the ends. That's just something that I noticed the difference between the two type of gel. So that could be why you having more on your ends than I do. Could be. I don't know.
Yeah. So
And that's
but
okay.
you know what? I'm okay with the amount of time it takes me to
Yeah.
detangle. But yeah, I'm okay with it. At the end of the day, I also have to acknowledge the amount of hair I have.
Yeah. All of that
Because
goes into it. Yeah.
yeah, because what I have to do is I have this looser section at the top
Mm-hmm.
and it's loose, it's a little bit looser in this area right here, and it's tighter
Mm-hmm.
below that. So I have to
Mm-hmm.
section when I'm detangling, I have to what?
Ooh.
That's your hair too? Yay! I
Yes.
have somebody with similar hair. But yeah, so I have to section off this, detangle that. I have to section off this, detangle that, section
Okay.
off this, detangle that. These two sections, section them off,
Okay.
detangle that, and then go below and do two more sections. So it's like I can't take really huge sections because
Oh.
they're different elasticities. So the curls are landing in different places, you know,
Okay.
and then it's a
Oh
lot of
yeah, I
it.
do. I do four big old sections, girl.
No,
I
I
do four
can't.
big old sections and go. Maybe I need to try something different.
No, you don't. But it's because it's so much hair and it's a different curl pattern.
Yeah,
I can't combine them together because they're
but I've been wanting to do different anyway because this crown area is my. It's the part that is the roughest, I should say, but it gets
yeah.
most of the elements. You know what I'm saying? It gets the hot water coming down on it, the rain, the sun, the whatever. So I do need to treat it a little bit better. And I had already been thinking about that. So I might need to just kind of do something a little extra special to this up here.
Because let me tell you what I did. I used to take this, see all this,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe I could turn around. I used to take all this
Uh-huh.
and then combine it with this down here.
Okay.
And I broke the hair at the center of my head.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, I could just take this and just put them together.
So
And
you
I,
had real short pieces up top?
yep, I
Oh.
broke the hair at the center of my head.
Hmm.
So now, I know it's important to section it out according to the curls that go together. So these go together, those go together, those go together, those go together, those go together.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't noticed any breakage like that,
Oh, I broke
but I
it.
do notice that this part up here is looser because it hangs all the way down. And anyway, some of that could have. I need a good cut too, a good shape up, but
You know,
it's hangs so long it makes it look flat in the back. I got to do a whole lot to try to get it to halfway
yeah,
stand
that's
up so
why.
it doesn't look
So
like
so that
look
cut,
flat.
yes. So she does cut into this hair so it doesn't look like that. Yeah, so it can have
Hmm.
shape. But
Yeah.
what I was gonna say was, some people might be like, "Oh, you're washing your hair every 3 to 5 days. It's too much manipulation. You're not gonna retain length." And I think that some things that are helpful when it comes to that is I get trims every 3 months. So I'm on top of my trims. And you don't have to do that. If that doesn't fit your genre of hair care, then that means that my style of hair care doesn't suit you. So I get cuts every 3 months. And so getting those split ends removed helps with the detangling process.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first thing. The second thing is my detangling technique. I'm finger detangling first with a conditioner with good slip, and then I'm going ahead and I'm, using my brush after that. Um, so it's the technique that also helps. And then also the last thing, but I don't think it's the most important. I think it's all these things together because I just told you I've broken hair before. I think that also me having coarse hair helps. I do
Mm-hmm.
think it helps me being able to manipulate my hair every 3 to 5 days.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that part. I tell people my hair is like steel, it seems like. Because okay, so let's go back when you were saying you were relaxed and your hair was really hard, even sometimes with relaxers to get straight. Um, I remember that for me too, a little bit, to the point where I would tell my hairdresser when I got old enough, not when I was a kid, but when I got old enough, leave it on there, leave it on there. She's like, we need to take
Ah,
it off. And I'm like, no, leave it on there. I want it bone straight. I used to want my hair bone straight, to the point. I know I'm not burning yet. No, I'm not burning yet. Nope, I'm not burning yet. We need to take it off. I'm not burning yet. My scalp is tough too. And
I don't got no scalp, so no tough scalp.
yeah, so then I got to the point where, yeah, I got a few little burns, and it's like, this is ridiculous that I want my stuff so straight that I'm willing to burn my hair. But yeah, I think that's why I can sometimes when I'm doing my hair on and I go back to edit, I'm like, man, it look like I'm really ripping through my hair. I know people are like, she is so rough with her hair. And I'm really not being that rough, but I just feel like my hair can take what somebody else's hair may not be able to take. Um, so I do agree with that. But I do want to let's go back to what you were saying when you were saying you get your cuts every three
three
months, you
months.
said. So when you get your cuts, because people probably want to know, do you get your hair cut curly or do you have it blown out and get it cut
I get it cut
for your
curly.
ends? You
I
get the
get it
curly
cut.
cuts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I get it cut curly. And it's like I think that's what I'm gonna stick with doing.
Okay.
I think that's what I'm gonna stick with doing because at the moment, I haven't seen any extremely negative consequences.
Okay.
Um, and now I will say that my hair care has to be pristine for my hair to be fine. If there are little to no splits in the first place, then, you know, what's the issue? So
Right.
my hair care has to be pristine. So I'm washing my hair every 3 to 5 days to keep up the moisture. I'm making sure my products aren't drying my hair out. I'm watching my manipulation because, like I said, I'm not using leave-in conditioners now. I'm not using creams now. I'm not using heavier products that might have given me more slip. I'm really watching my manipulation. So instead of when I'm at my, and so also with the detangling, when we talk about my ends, they're not that hard to get through. But I think also for me, because my mind is so set on being gentle, if I meet any resistance, I'm opening their hair up, smoothing it down, open it, smoothing it down, open it,
Okay.
smoothing it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm taking the brush through. I'm not meeting that resistance.
Yanking that brush.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not doing that. So, um, being extremely gentle, all these things can contribute to me having success with my they do contribute to me having success with curly cuts. Have I experienced really extreme split ends? Yes, from extreme dryness when I couldn't find quality fragrance-free products, or I was having a harder time putting together a good fragrance-free routine. And so gradually my curly cut removed those split ends as opposed to
Hmm.
my hair get my hair straightened and then removing it in one fell, swoop or whatever.
Right.
So, um, and also I'm grateful that I have coarse hair because the blessing of my coarse hair is it gave me the space to learn. So because I have because I have coarse hair, I got the opportunity to see, yeah, the big old splits like banana peel, but my hair was strong enough to hold on for me to keep getting those curly cuts and it'd be gradually removed. And I see how different hair care, better products, gentle manipulation, I see how those things can contribute to curly cuts being successful. Another thing, I don't brush my hair with styling gel. I don't do things like, some people they brush their hair with those, those gels we just talked about where their hair will be
Uh,
popping, locking, and
uh,
they'll take a brush, their hair is pop locking with gel, and they'll take a brush and brush
and
through it.
brush through the gel,
Yeah.
trying to separate it and get
Yes.
the curls. Mm.
Well, not necessarily to get the curls, but just to separate how the gel has tangled their hair. They said some people,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
some people would take a brush and brush through the gel.
Oh,
I do not
mm-mm,
do that. I realized early on that that was a no-no. I realized,
mm-mm,
so what do? I'm opening, separating, smoothing down, open, smooth down, open, smooth down, even
mm-hmm,
with gel. So throughout the whole process from shampoo to conditioner to gel, I'm doing open, smooth down, open, smooth down. I'm
mm-hmm.
not just
Yanking
taking a
through.
brush to get through. I don't take a brush to get through foams. If, it'll have to be a special situation and the foam be extremely slippery. But uh, there are a lot of things
Yeah,
that I'm doing.
I don't think I'd take a brush through any uh of my product. I once I start adding once I'll take a brush through deep conditioner if I'm using that to detangle. Normally, I will use a rinse out conditioner to detangle, or I have detangled with the shampoo if it's a moisturizing shampoo and it has that much slip, and I have done that. But by the time I'm adding my deep conditioner, my hair is already detangled with the rinse out conditioner with slip. And I'll add that deep conditioner and I will, I finger detangle all the way through my process too. So I'll still finger detangle when I'm putting the deep conditioner in just to make sure it's still detangled. But then I rinse that out and then I apply my leave-in in the shower, usually, unless for some reason I'm reviewing some product night. They say, they want to see me do it outside the shower. But normally I always apply my leave-ins in the shower. Works best for me. Uh, and then I take my gel and I apply it, and I'll rake my gel smooth and rake my gel, but I don't pick up a tool and start
And
combing
pull it
through
through
my
the
gel
gel.
and I leave it.
And I'm saying,
What you?
I was agreeing with you and pull it through the gel. I've seen people do it. They'll put, and I'm just like, yeah, you're breaking your hair.
Yeah, I know I
It,
see.
and so it's those are things like that where I'm making the curly cuts work for me, especially because they're the most convenient because
Mhm.
I can style my hair at home with products that aren't giving me trouble with my breathing or giving me trouble with my scalp. I style my hair at home, I go in and I get a dry cut.
Yeah.
I will say fragrance-free products have improved. There are some fragrance-free heat protectants coming out, some fragrance-free conditioners with silicone that may help with if I want to get a blowout. But the curly cut has been the most convenient for me as a person with sensitivities.
Hmm. So let's talk about what healthy hair. How can you tell if your hair is not in optimal condition or health? Because if you already get a little tangles, when you're detangling, um, which for some people, that's how they know that it's time for a trim, or, they got a whole lot of split ends or single strand knots. Um, if you're not seeing, breakage and stuff like that, how can you tell for people who want to know? How can you tell if there is something going on with your hair? How are you able to tell?
Oh, so does your hair not tangle at all? When you go to detangle it, does your hair not tangle at all? Like,
No, did I make it seem that way? No, I do
yeah,
get some
that's what I was
tangles. I'm
asking.
saying, yeah. My hair does tangle. I'm just asking, Yeah, I'm asking you, and then I'll answer too. Or you want me to answer first?
Yeah, go first.
Okay, so for people who may want to know, um, how I can tell if there's something that needs to go on is um, my detangling. Yeah, I will have worse. I- I'll have a longer detangling session. You know, my tangles will be worse if I know,
Hmm.
okay, it's time for a trim. If I am applying my gels and I can feel a whole lot of roughness on my ends, that helps me
Mm.
to know that there's something going on. If I am, if my hair is not behaving like it normally does, you know, I can tell. So one time um, it was just recently on my channel, I had used some products and um, I went to do my hair and I just noticed that it didn't spring back. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that I
Mm.
needed to tweak something. I needed a little bit more protein because I had kind of used too many moisturizing products back to back to back. I didn't have that elasticity. So things like that is what shows up for me when I know that, okay, my hair is not in its optimal state. I'm going to have more tangles. I'm not going to have the same bounce back. It's not going to style. I'm have harder time styling it with things that normally work. Um, um, you know, I might, somebody might, not me. I haven't really noticed any breakage in my hair, but some people will notice breakage versus shed hairs.
Mm.
Breakage will be the like little pieces of hair everywhere. So those are just things that I would be looking for me. Some things that I would be looking for. What about you?
Yeah, well, let me ask you this first. So, how long does it take you to detangle?
How long does it take me to detangle?
Hmm.
Um, it
If you
doesn't
could
take me
guess,
long at all. I hate to say it.
if you could guess it,
I hate to say it, huh?
if you could guess it,
I hate to say it. It probably takes me, it may take me 15 minutes, maybe 10, 15 minutes to
yeah,
detangle my hair.
yeah.
Um, it doesn't take me long at all to detangle. But I have learned, like my hair may not be as coily as yours. I think I was looking at one of your videos when you were washing and your hair, it swells when it's wet. It's you got a lot of hair. You got, I think your hair is more dense than mine. Mine used to be like that, but my
Yeah.
hair when I,
Oh, mine is high density. Yeah.
yeah, when I wet my hair, my curls are more, they're not as coily anymore. They're not as coily
Mm.
as they used to be. They're more, they come down more. So I think because of that, shed hairs can slip out easier. I still have
Mm.
some. I still have to kind of go through with my thumb and pull apart and stuff like that. But once I've done that, I can get a brush through it, no problem. And it doesn't tangle back up on itself real easily.
Yeah. I think that for me, I have a couple of different things that's not in my favor. So, is that my favor that I can't use leave-in conditioners?
Yeah.
Because leave-in conditioners help to smooth the cuticle and they help to make the hair easier to move through. So that's not my favor. Um, but I can't use them because even if they don't contain oils or butters, they contain fatty alcohols sometimes. And those fatty alcohols, my head starts to smell bad, it starts to have like this cheesy smell. But when I used the leave-in, so I had a leave-in conditioner in my hair and I went to detangle before I shampooed. It took me 20 minutes.
Mm,
Yeah. Because I had a leave-in conditioner in my hair that week, and I went in and it was with the now this conditioner don't have much slip at all. It has a little bit, but it's the what was that conditioner? The Ordinary. It was the Ordinary
okay.
fragrance-free conditioner, and I think that might be better for people with smaller hair strands, like fine hair
Okay.
strands.
Hmm.
But I used that, and what I already had in my hair was from this brand called PS's Natural, their unscented
Mhm.
conditioner. I had that in my hair, and there was a foam in my hair. And so I went to wet my hair. I put the ordinary in my hair, and I already had, I had the leave-in conditioner in my hair. My detangling time was 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's an advantage that I have.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah, so that's one thing. And so that kind of it stinks. But I have to be careful so I won't stink. Um, so there's
They're
that.
crazy.
But yeah, but um I don't have that in my favor. The products in general, when it comes to fragrance free, I don't really have that in my favor. I found some with decent slip better than Innocence, but um I don't really have that in my favor. And so also something that you mentioned, which I don't know if you know how seen you just made me feel. It almost makes me like it makes me like really, really happy. But you said that you noticed that my hair doesn't, drop when it gets wet. It doesn't really.
Mhm.
That is something that I've been observing, and I'm like, am I crazy? But it's like the little like incremental things that I notice. And it's like, this is what's making a difference in my experience. But if I say it, I don't know if people are going to be like, what are you talking about? But yeah, when I go to wet my hair doesn't drop. Some pieces at the top, they'll drop
Yeah.
more and it'll make them a little easier to detangle. But other parts of my hair, they don't drop. They
Yeah, your hair grows out. That's okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I hate
yeah.
that's
So because it's not dropping and sort of releasing that coil at the ends, it's like I have a little bit more of a time getting through it. But I would say it's not the end of the world. Like if I were
hmm.
a finger detangler and I just took big chunks, like and just took boom, 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 it would be about 15 minutes. But because I want to do wash and goes with these botanical gels, I know that I better get in there and detangle before I put on that botanical gel, or it's gonna be over with.
Mm,
It's gonna be a
yeah,
nightmare.
yeah,
Especially with me not using leave-in conditioners, it's gonna be a nightmare.
yeah.
So yeah, so I would say the way that I could tell that my hair is healthy is I don't have the big splits that I saw in the past. So I don't have that. Also, I have noticed that some products that my hair would tangle with in the past, it doesn't tangle with anymore. Now that my
Hmm.
hair is healthier. Um, so I don't see the big splits. I don't have some of the same tangling that I had in the past, except for products that are notorious for doing that. Some products that are higher in aloe vera, not all products, but some. And just the way my hair behaves, like extra dry, crispy hair doesn't move like this.
Hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Extra dry,
Hmm.
crispy hair ain't doing that. And, it's not just because my hair looks good in the wash and go or something like that. Some people have that reality where they can get their hair to look like this and it's super damaged and all. That's not my reality.
Yeah.
And even if somebody were to say, "So your hair is extremely damaged, your hair is in terrible condition," guess what? What they have to say doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I'm still gonna show up and my hair is gonna be bouncing and behaving and beautiful and sparkling.
Yes.
And they can say, well, you doing those curly cuts, you not using no raw oils and butter, you not. And guess what? I'm showing up and I'm slaying. So it
Right.
doesn't matter what
Right.
they think anyway, you know?
Right.
And that's where I think about genres too when it comes to hair care, because there are people that discuss all these different sorts of hair care. Like for example, Kathy Howes, I believe, in her book, just like a older book about hair care, she talks about not trimming the hair at all. I believe that was her talking about that.
Mm.
Chikoro in her book, Grow It, she talks about being more conservative with trimming from what I remember. And she talks about how some of your hair is gonna have split ends, but you want to just gradually trim until you get to the length that you want, as opposed to cutting in one big fail swoop. And of course, she talks about nurturing your hair and she uses butters and things like that. But there are different genres that have these different standards of hair health. And so for my genre, for my standard of hair health, I can take care of my hair the way I want to. My hair is still gorgeous. And that's what it is. And
It is.
so,
It's beautiful.
thank you. And so, I just, when I'm hearing these current conversations about hair health and this style of hair care that I'm doing and things like that, I understand that they're not talking about me. They're talking about their personal experience because they haven't been listened to, they haven't been assisted, they haven't gotten the results they expected. And also for some people, this style of hair care does not match with their lifestyle.
Right.
It is this genre of hair care. I think a lot of people are waking up now and they're figuring out, wait, this makes no sense for me. This makes no sense with how I want to manipulate my hair. This makes no sense with how I want my hair to feel. So I think that it's not their genre. But some
Right.
people are like, they're going to because in the natural hair community, sometimes we're gonna go to extremes. Some people are like, it ain't working for nobody. It ain't
Right.
working for you. You drank the Kool-Aid. And it's
Right.
just like good old natural hair community.
Mhm. Yep.
But once again, once you find that genre, the genre that speaks to you in terms of hair care, you take that,
Right.
and I think that that's the way to go.
Right. I agree. I agree. I agree.
But
I
yeah,
agree.
did you have any other questions or anything else you wanted to discuss?
Um, no, I think we covered a lot. I think we pretty much talked about a lot. Hopefully, if something, tell your audience,
Yes,
put the
please,
questions
please
down below.
leave a comment down below, leave a question down below.
Yeah, if we didn't
Um,
answer something.
Yes, please leave it down below. Leave it down below. Once again, thank you so much to Ray. Y'all need to go over to her channel, Natural Ray Ray. She knows her hair. She knows how to care for her hair. Um, as you can see, she is kind, open-minded, thoughtful, and I'm sure she's gonna give you all of that. I know she gives all of that on her channel, so go check out her channel. So
Thank
once
you.
again, thanks for watching. Y'all comment down below. Bye-bye. You don't have to go, but bye.
Bye.